All right, so I'm going to do a 30-day review of me going through, having a meditation session every single day for 30 days. And this is something that I've been doing for over 10 years now, but it's only recently that I decided to really analyze what is the process that I go through step by step, every part within that meditative and introspective time. And I've put together a 30-day authentically aligned life transformation tracker. And the steps within it are what I've been following for the last 30 days. So, in terms of my results and what I have learned, what I've experienced, at this point, I feel so strong mentally, spiritually. I feel mentally clear. My focus is at a different level. I feel extremely focused right now. And also, I've noticed that my level of creativity has increased. And so, when it comes to the creativity piece, that has to do with problem solving and also being able to have this framework in place that allows me to deal with moments where I'm overwhelmed with doubts related to either the path that I'm on, the decisions that I'm making or I'm about to make. In some of my videos, I refer to this as going through the valley of doubts. And so to have this framework that really helped me manage that was really cool to see tangibly. And so the other thing that I noticed is that my energy level is so much better and higher than it was on day one. And I'm able to stay there in a way that is much more consistent and, of course, sustainable. Now, related to that, one of the insights that I had was that in terms of reaching some of these levels, it all starts here and the inner work that we're doing. And and before anything else. And that is the result of this, I guess, experiment and theory that I've had with myself, where I always thought in terms of how can I achieve the level of energy that I want independently of anything that I could gain externally. And again, it all starts here inside. Naturally, yes, we can have the right diet. We can do the right exercise for ourselves that would help us increase our energy levels. But the way that I do it with the approach that I have is that if internally I'm doing everything so just naturally I am able to raise my energy level and get there, anything that I would add externally, whether it's the right diet or the right exercise, would be amplifiers, right? So that's how I approach this. And so it's been very cool and interesting to see, the evolution of my energy. And you'll see in the tracker, there are areas where you can rate your energy level. And so over time, as you review that regularly, you get to see the progression. And you also get to see why I'm experiencing X amount of level, X rating on a scale of 1 to 10 as opposed to another. So that's, for me, has been really cool, because then I could myself identify the areas where I need to focus on more, and the areas that maybe I should avoid and not do so much. So that's another element that I've gained through this 30-day is the level of clarity and certainty. Because that's that's made such a difference, because it's making it so much easier for me to know how to move in a way that is personalized for myself. So that's the one thing that I've noticed. The other thing is, so I've talked about the decisions, the ability to come up with better quality decisions. Has been huge, and that's been facilitated by one of the insights that I've had, which is, and one of the things I've really valued about this whole process is the fact that as I look at this other element within me, my spirit, I really value this aspect of teamwork, where I, to the best of my ability, fully trusting my spirit, because as a human being, it's very easy for me to be, distracted, have doubts, have fear, right? So to have it being there and fully trusting that it knows where I'm meant to go, that just adds a level of peace that that is priceless. And I know that my spirit is always there and has my back. Now, the other thing that's also pretty cool is that when it comes to that, and there's a lot, so I'm going to be looking at my notes as well. Oh yes, the other insight was the fact that I realized that my spirit doesn't need that much time and time doesn't need that much attention in terms of time, and that's why it's just a few minutes, you know, as I do it for myself, morning, afternoon, and night. Those few minutes, my spirit doesn't need that much. However, what it gives me in return, the value of what it gives me in return, it's it can be measured. I get so much in return because it makes my life easier, and it's something that just has to be experienced. But again, through that process, it's me learning how to listen to it, how to communicate to it, how to have that two-way communication going. Because this way it allows me to move through the day, through life, through social situations in a way that that alignment is always there. And I feel that I'm always being myself, which is at the end of the day, at least for me, is what I always strive for. So that is one. And yes, the other thing that was pretty cool, it was to through this process see the areas of myself that I need to develop, areas that would directly impact the quality of my life, and that has to do with some of the traits that I realize I need to develop, and particularly for me, it's to find ways to be better organized, whether it's me working on it personally or finding help for that. So it was very interesting because those were blind spots that were highlighted through this whole process that I went through. And so, again, going back to that idea of clarity and certainty, because I know that, now I know what are the steps that I need to do to improve. Right? So that was really, really nice. The other thing about the 30 days that I've noticed is that my relationship to my purpose just feels so much more stronger, solid. I feel so much more grounded in it, and naturally, as a result, it allows me to know in which direction I need to move or keep moving towards. And that's the thing about the 30 days that I've noticed, and I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. Um, hmm. The so when I started on day one, there's a portion that has to do with the vision, the vision that I have, my primary goal and outcome for a year from now. And I noticed that the difference from day one to day 30 is the fact that it has evolved and expanded in such a way that is so much more invigorating. And I believe that has been the result of me spending time living in that vision on a daily basis, because I refer to it as part of the framework on a daily basis. And I think as I've been doing that, it's almost as if a movie where the colors would get more and more intensified and more specific details would be added to the scene that I'm suddenly noticing. And that got me to a place where I just feel naturally much more excited, driven, motivated. So this whole process has been finding ways to tap into those parts of myself that could be energized and fueled naturally without any gimmicks, but in a way that was just natural and authentic. So that's been pretty cool. What else? I believe that I've pretty much covered everything. Um, yeah, I believe I've covered everything. And so, what's next? So, um, Well, before I even get to that, I'll say that at this point, this whole process of connecting with myself has felt so much more fluid, uh, and it feels great because now I feel much more integrated, and even in the way that life is flowing right now, it just feels like just there's just flow, and that's what I'm experiencing now. I feel like I'm in flow at this point, and I'm really excited to see, well, how are things going to be, another 30 days from now, 60 days, 120, etc. Because I was thinking of this question. Okay, well, what's next after this? Well, it's continue to implement, this practice in a way that I've broken it down. But the next step now is also to focus on be much more intentional about this momentum and execution stage, right? So that is what I feel I need to focus on right now, and I'm pretty sure that I will come up with a few things that I can share. But that would be the next step for me. So that's what I've learned over these 30 days of going through this, 30-day authentically aligned life transformation tracker. It's come with lot of surprises, things I didn't even expect. Taking a look at my blind spots, and that's so all of that has been an amazing experience. And again, I can't wait to see how that will progress. Now, I'm very curious to hear about your experience if you have had a chance to go through it and can look back at your 30 days now. So if you can leave a comment, that would be awesome to read. I'd love to celebrate that with you as well. And if you happen to have stumbled upon this and you're thinking or you are intrigued by this tracker that I've been talking about and maybe you want to see how it could help you out, very easy. I'm sure there's a link below this video, or you can just go to mickrecommends.com and get started with that. And along the way, let me know how it's impacting your life. If you have any questions around it, because of how I'm evolving with this, I'm sure there are going to be enhanced versions to it, other resources to even help on this journey of continuing to feel aligned, to feel connected to our purpose, to feel connected to being ourselves through this world, in this world that we live in. And yes, so I'm really glad that you, I guess, came here and listened to my own experience of the 30-day tracker. If you have any questions, let me know. And until next time, take care.